Hello, my name is TL Goodwin, and I'm going to show you how I make a hollow stamped copper bead. First, you have to cut the discs. There are a couple ways you can do this. You can use a template and cut them out with shears or a saw. This is an inexpensive hole cutter. There are more expensive, more precise hole cutters out there. So you want to cut 2 discs. Once you have your 2 discs, you have to file off all the flashing that might be left from the cutting process. It'll interfere with stamping and also pose a risk of cutting you. So after that's done, you want to find center, and I do it by eye. And then I turn the disc to see if I'm accurate. And then when I am accurate, when I found center, then I take it to my hole punch. And I use the second to the smallest punch. Now it's time to stamp the pieces. Find the stamps you're going to use. Bang away. Once you've completed the stamping on both pieces, then it'll be time to anneal it. They both have to be softened again. You don't have to get the metal red hot, just to a part where the color travels easily along the surface. You get that little iridescent color, you know you're good. So it's okay to quench. You just don't want to quench when things are red hot. So then I take my dapping block and I dap those discs into cones. Then you have to make sure they're completely flat, and the best way I found to do this is on a lapidary wheel. It's a 180 grit diamond disc that I use for all kinds of stuff that isn't rock related. Occasionally some rock. Anyway, they have to be perfectly flat, so when you solder them together, the solder will flow all the way around. I use palions of sheet solder. Use the kind of solder that you're most familiar with. It is a silver-based solder. And I use a self-pickling flux. Try to get the palions up as close to the freshly cut surface as you can. The solder doesn't like to flow on dirty surfaces. Then put the 2 pieces together and then hit it with a torch. After you've bubbled off the flux, Go in there as fast as you can so that the copper doesn't have a chance to build up oxides. And wait for that solder to flow. Then technically, you have yourself a bead. Now would be a good time to put it in pickling solution because you're not going to get much of a chance after you rivet it. You want to wait till after this step. That's fine. This is just cleaning up the edges. You want it nice and smooth. Take your time. When you're comfortable with the smoothness of your edges, and you can move on to cutting the core. This is a piece of tubing that I'm cutting for the core, a rivet core. The next step is to get those edges clean, so you want to take a file and clean up those edges. After that's done, it gets fitted into the bead and then flared and finished. Just want to take a hammer and finish off that rivet. And then it's cleanup time. Here I'm using an old piece of 400 grit wet dry sandpaper.
It's already made 3 videos.
And that's it. Done. Took about 25 minutes. Thank you.